Welcome to Wrestling, and it's been a crazy week, and I think we're going to talk a lot about All Out Wrestling and All Out. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, almost too much, but we're going to start it on something a little more positive that I wanted to hear about, and that Justin got to experience, and that was, by the way, co-host, Mr. Justin In-Ring Art at In-Ring Art. Hi, guy.
Hello. How are you?
Pretty good. I forgot to do the intro there, but I wanted to ask you about the crowds in New Japan recently.
Oh yeah, that was one thing that I, made a priority to watch this weekend outside of the usual things, and we heard full-on vocal output from a Japan crowd in Japan, and it was amazing. And
okay,
to the point where I almost forgot what it sounded like, and it was a lot of fun. I don't know if you caught that show at Korakuen Hall. The first match we had back with sound was Bad Dude Tito and Minoru Suzuki.
Okay.
Almost over 2 years, John.
Damn. No, I'm seeing this. They drew a big crowd. Was this Burning Spirit Day 3?
Yeah, it was the September 4th show or 5th show.
And Okada and Tanahashi formed the Mega Superpowers to wrestle Jonah.
Yes.
So
Jonah and Shane Haste in the main event. So
yeah, the sad thing is this awesome weekend in New Japan, which I'm glad you watched, and now I'm going to watch. It was so overshadowed by all the other ridiculous news, and it's kind of sad, actually.
Fallout from All Out?
Yeah, we'll call it that. But did you watch the whole show?
Most of it. I actually went to a place that was broadcasting it. The same place that... oh, man. My brain just stops sometimes. Brain Slam Wrestling that ran the show here a few weeks ago that Hiromu was at.
Okay.
Well, the company that does that actually has they're kind of like an artist headquarters kind of thing.
Yeah, I was wondering. I
company.
looked the place up online, but it looks like one of them's a huge wrestling fan.
Yeah, it's crazy because I saw that they were doing something at this theater, and I live like a mile from there, so I said, "Hey, can I come and hand out some stickers?" And they're like, "Of course." So I went and did that, and
sweet,
met a friend there. I took my youngest son there, and he only made it till about 7:00 our time, which I think we left during the tag match. And by the time I got home and got back watching it again, I probably missed a few matches, but I think I saw about 70% of the show.
Okay. Well, that's good.
And, good show.
I'm going to check it out, overall. Man. I bet you it was awesome. It was, again, super overshadowed by other news things. But if you watch New Japan by itself and just, you're like, damn, this is still good shit. I could imagine, right? Because they're great. Great at wrestling. And also some character development there.
Yes. And overall, All Out was great. It was really good. A lot of good wrestling on those shows. The Eddie Kingston, Ishii match.
Yeah, that was awesome. There was a lot of crazy stuff, and we're gonna, yeah. What a weird fucking week to talk about wrestling, man. I'm sorry, it's just weird. But yes, the show was awesome. God, and we not too long ago we had Forbidden Door, an amazing show, and I hope that the positivity of how good those shows are, influences the way they are kind of headed. So did you see any of Clash at the Castle, by the way?
I saw a little bit of it, like the first couple matches when we rolled back in here on Saturday night. Unfortunately, I tried to catch up on it this morning, but like in usual Peacock fashion,
why did you roll back in late, bro? What were you doing, dog?
It was like 10:30. I started falling asleep, and I knew that was it for me.
Okay.
but because we were at Disney this weekend or whatever.
Oh shit! Okay.
But I tried to pick up some of it this morning, and the Peacock just kept quitting.
What the fuck? That's sad, bro.
Yeah, I look up and it says error. So Peacock sucks anyway.
Dude, Peacock sucks. When I pull it out on my phone sometimes at work, it took like 30 minutes to load. I was like, why? Why does Netflix never does this? You know?
Yeah, it doesn't. Especially the PlayStation app version is god awful. You'll watch like 10 minutes of something and then it quits on you. It doesn't go to the next episode.
Yeah.
It's a terrible app. Absolutely terrible. And you say what you want about Netflix, but I almost never run into issues on Netflix.
Yeah.
Ever. With I have the same internet connection, so if there was connections issues, it would be terrible on every app.
Yeah, no. It is just these certain apps, and I've played certain video games too, where like the connection drops in and out, or it like re-questions you if you're connected over and over, and it's like, okay, why are you guys fucking this up when every other company is not fucking this up? What makes you different? Yeah. And it's just
Hey, it was part of the reason Peacock lost like $1 billion last year or whatever, and had no net new subscribers for the first quarter of the year.
Yeah.
Which is insane to think about. Anyway, that's a whole other issue. We can do wrestling and streaming services.
Yeah, and we will eventually. But you talk about insane, and we have to bring this up. Insane, how crazy the Acclaimed were over last night. Did you see that?
No, I saw that was... I missed most of that match because I had to get home like right when their match started.
Okay, well, I'll talk about it real quick.
They're certainly getting over, though, just from watching Dynamite and all that
stuff.
They're definitely becoming fan favorites.
This is not getting over. These guys are over now. They were the hottest act, I think, in the entire night, besides CM Punk or Moxley. Like,
right.
Dude.
Wow.
So you had all these crazy chants. You know how they usually go, Joe's gonna kill you, or stuff like that?
Yeah.
Instead, for half the match, they chanted, Scissor me, daddy. And then all these other chants. Billy Gunn was the most over he's been since the Attitude Era. He started laughing at how many they were cheering daddy, yes, daddy, yes. And the match ended up being crazy as fuck. I think it was the best match of the night, maybe besides the trios match. But my God, you definitely got to watch this one. Acclaim is in a whole new world right now, dude. They have been launched to the main event scene just by their performance tonight, you know? So, hey.
That's great.
Lots of movement from them. And then again, you didn't really get to see any Clash at the Castle. Did you hear anything about it?
I heard that the Sheamus Gunther, Walter, whatever you call him, match was amazing. And I heard the main event was really good too. I think that's pretty much most of what I heard. But I definitely want to check out at least the Sheamus Gunther match.
Well, I'll say this. From what I saw, man, we are back to... I'm not kidding. It's almost like NXT takeovers of yesterday is starting to feel what these pay-per-views are like. And I hope it's like... I mean, you had 5 matches... Or 5 matches, I think. And, like, all of them...
NXT had one, too. Did you watch any of that?
I did not. I did not see War of Worlds. But the Ricochet match looked really good. Then again, Mandy Rose won. And it's like everyone from NXT UK kind of got, like, buried there.
Bitched out.
So...
But I will say about the Sheamus Gunther, I've always been a Sheamus fan. I always loved Sheamus. I know a lot of people... haven't been fans of Sheamus, but
he's always been good.
He's a guy. I always loved Sheamus. I love his character,
and he's consistent,
the hard hitting.
He's consistent. Yeah. Like he doesn't really look that much different. In fact, he's almost gotten better from 10 years ago. I don't know, man.
I think the dude could be in a G1. Like,
he could.
Has that type of work style,
dude. He definitely does. He definitely does.
Yeah.
And Gunther was one of the first dudes in a long time that brought it out of him in that sense, that doing that type of match. So
I'm definitely going to check that out when my Peacock's not when
the Peacock is behaving.
Yeah, this is not a Bluetooth commercial. When the Peacock decides it wants to work at home.
I feel you, man. Yeah, the Clash at the Castle. The other stuff I saw, the women's trios match, awesome, really great. Bailey ridiculously over, and her having to tell the fans to stop chanting her name and shut the fuck up and stuff. So great there, and yeah, the main event. I mean, that was pretty intense, dude. But the fact is, there were these near falls where you knew Drew had won, and then he didn't. You know, and they obviously brought Solo Sikoa up from the NXT to the main roster. So,
Right, that's the other Uso brother.
yeah, yep,
Okay. And he's in the
nepotism,
bloodline
dude.
now?
I guess so, because he kind of, he helped homie.
He's one of those guys where you saw him. He's got to be older than the Usos, right?
Yeah, but where's Jacob Fatu? Why was he not in WWE? I never got that.
Is he related to them?
Yeah, dude, he's part of the family. I think he's related. Hang on, I'm sure
What
he
happened?
is.
Like, was it like a year or two ago when they brought up some random relative of his to be on the show? You remember? It was like one of Roman's other cousins or something. I can't remember what his name was. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I'm not
It was
sure.
like 2 or 3 years ago.
I'm not sure.
They brought this guy up for like a month where he was like, I'm telling you, it was really random, and I don't think they did anything with him afterwards. I don't think it was Jacob Fatu. It was somebody else.
Oh.
I wouldn't even know how to Google search that, to be honest with
Well,
you.
I did find a family tree. Jacob Fatu is the son of Samuel Fatu, Tonga Kid, who is brothers with Solofa Fatu, who is actually Rikishi, and his sons are Josh and Jonathan Fatu, the Usos. So Jacob Fatu is a cousin.
Okay.
So there you go.
And that's like the MLW guy?
Yeah. And their brother is named Umaga.
Mm.
It goes deep, you know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah.
And then you're like, who the fuck is Lance Anaui?
Lance Uso?
Who is Rodney Anaui?
That's Yokozuna.
Yep, you got it. That was Yokozuna, the man who dipped turkey fat into mayonnaise and ate it. Did you ever hear about that?
Yeah, I think we've talked about it,
Okay,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty gross.
Should we do it on air to just as a remembrance?
You can do it.
No,
on
you
air.
can. How about you this? You do Miracle Whip.
No, I don't. No. Yeah. I'm not a mayonnaise guy, man. That's gross.
I would definitely not do it in that way. Like maybe a smidgen on a avocado sandwich, but I'm talking dipping. No, it's not a dipping sauce. Anyway, did you hear about this CM Punk dude?
A little bit, yeah.
I mean,
Just a little bit. It hasn't been dominant on anyone's Twitter timelines or anything like that.
I don't really know what to
Yeah,
say that hasn't been said already.
I mean, it's just really an instant. First of all, in the grand scheme of things, who gives a shit, really? But, wow, I mean, if it's CM Punk really just leaning into his heelness, his natural heelness, I mean...
It didn't seem like
he's
that.
gonna
It
be
seemed like
cheered.
he was just being a fucking dick. Yeah, I don't think this was some kind of like work thing. He started initiating and then talked shit about Colt Cabana, dude, like calling him, saying he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see it. Like, I just saw the 2-minute clip where he kind of just started going off about, Colt Cabana having a bank account with his mother. And,
Yeah.
how all these emails, like, just all this, I haven't been his friend for 10 years or whatever.
And he called out the dude that knew him first, the reporter. He was like, hey, where'd you go to improv school? Who'd you do improv with? Scott Colton. And he's like, yeah, well, that dude's a fucking piece of... It's like, what the fuck, dude?
I mean, it's one of, we talked about it a few weeks ago. Maybe Tony Khan is in over his head with these personalities.
We have
I
definitely
guess,
talked about it, and we've talked about...
But look, they're crazy if they don't turn this into something to make money.
Yeah, you're right. But can they get along? I guess that's the question. If they do turn it into...
This is where I'm thinking somebody like Chris Jericho has to step in and say, look, you guys don't like each other. You don't like him. But listen, we're gonna make some money off this shit. That's where I count a guy like Chris Jericho.
I hope so. I really hope it turns out to be that type of story, and I agree with you because there are Here's the thing: someone's got to step up to CM Punk in the locker room, and check his ass.
Well, that's the thing where I remember this one of these Jericho shows from a few years ago, where. Was it him and Cody on the cruise or something? He was interviewing on the cruise, and Cody mentioned something about CM Punk saying he was the locker room leader, and how like they need to start cleaning up their trash. And then like someone like Booker T or someone heard that and just threw trash on the ground and said, he's not my leader.
Ooh.
And even Jericho's like, he started talking about it. And that's when, Cody told that part of it. He's like, I was trying to keep people anonymous. And Jericho's like, no, this is my show. It was CM Punk saying he's the leader. I remember him saying that, and I'm like, you're not my leader. But, listen, we knew this guy had a bit of an attitude. We know the people that he's close with, he's good with. But he's very easy to rub the wrong way. Yeah, and it
even seems like, I hate to say this, but it's also a wannabe power trip kind of thing where I run a lot of this stuff. I'm the leader. That's the pattern I'm seeing. Yeah. Where in the fact you did not start the company, and because these people are EVPs and you don't like them and they run what you do, it's like, fuck those pieces of shit.
Well, first of all, I was a little insulted for, I think running a Target is really difficult. So for him to say that they couldn't even manage a Target, that's pretty insulting for some hardworking people that work at Targets.
Agreed. 100%.
So that's a little bit of a stupid thing to say on his part too. But no, listen though. This can be something. First of all, I think there has been some type of. We're gonna speculate. First of all, it's weird. Usually, some idiot will be getting video of this stuff of, guys like Ace Steel throwing a chair and knocking out one of the.
Dude, are you gonna say like, it's a work? Because everyone.
I don't think it's. I think it's up to a point. I think what could be happening right now is that there was a beef. And it was squashed, and they're like, okay, let's make something out of this now.
Well, we hope so, because CM Punk hasn't been fired yet. So,
right.
I mean, if
they're going to go off the same things they do with Eddie Kingston, who had a fight with someone.
Yeah.
Was it Sammy Guevara?
Yeah.
Right? A few weeks ago? Then CM Punk should be suspended.
Well, and what I'm wondering is, look, did Tony Khan, this is total speculation, but if I was in the situation, did Chris Jericho and Tony Khan rush backstage, stop everyone, and say, meet me in my fucking office fucking now? And, just, you got to figure that shit out. I mean, I don't know how he could let these dudes, stay separate and just keep cool. It's like, dude, we got to figure this shit out. So, I hope that's what happened, dude.
Yeah.
No one's been fired yet. There was.
Hey, listen, say what you want. None of this stuff would happen out in the open in WWE. Never.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's stuff like this in WWE doesn't usually happen, unless since the 90s. It doesn't get out. I don't think people get attacked backstage randomly.
Yeah, well, that was before dirt sheets were really running amok in the 90s and internet.
I'm just saying that's not a normal thing, being attacked backstage.
That's where the vulnerability of having these post-event press conferences that are live.
Yeah.
Who knows if they just didn't do that? They didn't have that what they call a media scrum. This stuff would even have happened.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. So it's
the fact that you're giving CM Punk a live mic after a show when you know that you're going to.
Well, that's what confuses me even more, though, is because, he just won in Chicago. It's like, why? You just
Well, that's
won,
the
and
only-
you're the
that's
face
the-
of the company. Now this is what you
even
do.
then, even without that press conference, that was the only place he was going to get cheered again.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's become like the Bret Hart, Chicago, not Canada, right?
It's like
I think
MJF
it's the way
and
he wants it, to be
MJF
honest.
in Long Island.
Well, now they're going to roll out MJF with him.
I know.
Who's the heel now?
Yeah.
Because everything that MJF has said is true about CM Punk.
Yeah. I don't know.
Everything that Adam Page has said about CM
Seem
Punk
pretty
is
true. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess
Everything that John Moxley said is true.
well, I guess watching the drama of how it works out is kind of part of the appeal of it. It's sad though in a way. Seeing people verbally fucking ripped apart, in someone being malicious about it is never really that fun. Especially when they're people that you like.
It just seems like almost booking wise as well, and just I feel like I'm watching a different product when I see the Young Bucks and Kenny out there than when I see CM Punk out there.
Yeah.
And when I see MJF.
Well, the thing
They're
is
so
that
separated, and Moxley, they're also separated by booking now. I don't know if that's a good job that they're doing over there, but it just seems like they're booking separate to keep them apart from each other in a way.
well, we'll see about MJF coming as a babyface because I don't care how much of a dick the dude is, he's gonna get cheered. So.
Oh yeah, I think, both of us, we're CM Punk fans for the most part. Like, overall, this kind of stuff is not a good look. Like, I think you said it on Twitter. Like, I don't understand how a guy who won something can be that bitter, right?
Yeah.
Come off as being that bitter.
Yeah.
I don't understand why he couldn't just say, like, hey, I'm not really on speaking terms or have a relationship with Scott Colton anymore.
Yeah.
All the details are between me and him and is personal, and I just want to leave it at that. I don't know why he had to go off about that.
Yeah, and go into full detail about personal,
yeah.
financial things, and yeah.
I mean, I thought that was very inappropriate, whether he feels that he was wronged or whatever, or I think it bugs him that people think that Colt's the good guy.
Yeah, I could see that. He wants to be 100% the good guy. That's one thought about it, man. Who?
Yeah, and I think it hurt. Even though he doesn't want to be the good guy, he's kind of a sociopath in a way. Where I think he wants to be. He says he doesn't care what people think, but then he gets pissed off when he hears what they think. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So, or he'll be the first one.
No,
to ask,
I
what do they
actually
think
no.
of me?
The fact is that the dude's got real bad insecurities, most likely. Just worrying about Alvarez. I can't believe when you said this video. It's like, really, dude? Alvarez, this random reporter, he made a video, and why go after him? And then he was talking to Dave. Hey, Dave, did I do anything? It's like now you're like going after random reporters, and they report fucking
and
bullshit.
with the Adam Page thing, I did see what Adam Page did. I don't know. I didn't see it as anything.
Me neither. Me neither.
Worse.
I watched it. It was like, okay, that seems pretty par for the course, man. Pretty normal.
Yeah, I didn't really.
I thought it
see
was a great
anything
fucking
out of the
promo.
ordinary.
He talks about wanting to make money. He talks about, I'm
Yeah.
trying to make money for this fucking company. Dude, that was a money promo from Adam Page. So why,
But I just think that CM Punk doesn't have the overall power and draw that he thought he did or he thinks he does.
Yeah.
And maybe him realizing that maybe he thought he would come in and I don't know if this makes sense, but maybe he thought he'd come in and be worshipped by everyone there.
Yeah.
And that wasn't happening. So, he figured if I was ever going to come back to wrestling, I want to come back and be able to do whatever I want, and people are going to be really nice to me, and maybe that didn't happen the way he imagined it. I mean, he seems like a guy where if something doesn't go exactly the way he wanted it to, he gets upset about. I don't know. And it doesn't surprise me that he would get into a fight and be able to hit someone, because I know maybe he didn't do well in UFC competition, but the guy is still a trained UFC, fighter, right?
Yeah.
Like, he knows how to do more than the average person or the average just pro wrestling trained person. So, I mean, if that did happen, I guess I wouldn't be too surprised. But, yeah, I really hope it's something that there is a little bit of animosity, and maybe there's been some arguments or two, but they've decided to blow it up. Because Tony Khan does seem like a guy that would totally do that just to be a little Andy Kaufman-ish in these days. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're just getting Andy Kaufman.
Dude,
this is getting a lot of attention, and I think a lot of people want to watch Dynamite now because of it. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's just a big conspiracy and all the AEW staff they all agreed, let's work the media, But for the most...
Well, it could also be where you have two parents. Let's say it's the CM Punk side versus the EVP side, and the children is Dynamite and Rampage, and they're like, you know what, we're not getting along, but let's do what's best for the children, right?
Yeah.
Let's make sure that these shows get ratings, and if we're going to have this kind of drama, let's roll into it and
hopefully
at least get some money off of it. So
if they can agree. And, I will say there was a great tweet today from Fightful that said they spoke to numerous WWE talent about the AEW situation. And I guess the overriding thing was if they don't get over it and make money with it, none of them have any business talking about who's drawing what houses.
Yeah.
So,
probably right.
Yeah. I hope we get an epic match in the future from that, but you want to talk about All Out as a whole?
Oh, All Out as a whole, I thought it was just, a really good, entertaining show. My favorite match of the night was the Tomohiro Ishii and Eddie Kingston match, which I think was technically on the free show.
It was.
And the trios match was great too, and the main event was great too. I mean, they were all outstanding matches. A little bit of some plot holes with the main
wrestling wise, I thought it almost matched last year's. Although you did have the cage match last year, Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers, that was epic. But I thought the tag match tonight was incredible. I mean, so it's just like, I think All Out is their flagship show, man.
I mean, yeah. And last year, I think we were talking more about, All Out being one of the best pay-per-views of all time with that card. So I don't think it was quite to that level, but it was still really good. I'm still a little confused and bothered by the whole CM Punk foot thing and how he wasn't able to wrestle that other match, but came out here anyway.
Because he did a heel turn.
That aside.
He did a heel turn. He twisted his heel, and that's why he lost.
Well, did you see what he talked about his shoes in the in that press conference?
But they said that was a Jon Moxley idea. That was his idea. Like, I'm gonna fuck him up.
Shoes?
Jon Moxley's
What was?
Yeah. So
What was his idea?
to do a 3-minute match.
Oh, I see.
And
like, I'm gonna crush.
Yeah, and CM Punk was okay with it because he actually respects Jon Moxley.
No, I'm sure he does. I know there's guys on that in there he respects.
Yeah. He just really does not respect a certain amount of people, all of whom we don't know. Okay, tell me when you started watching All Out, which matches did you see? Did you see the whole pre-show, the beginning, the end?
We saw the whole pre-show.
Okay, I didn't. So why don't you lead us through this here? Jericho Appreciation Society, Sammy and Tay broke Ruby Soho's her neck or her nose, and she was with Ortiz. Did you watch that match?
I did see it. I saw that match. It was a good match. I thought Ortiz might have gotten a couple concussions during it. Yeah, it was okay.
Did you see Ruby Soho's fall?
I did not.
Oh my god, dude. She took such a brutal bump, and she broke her nose, and it looked like she broke her neck. But
Right.
I don't think she's broke her neck. Yeah, she just got a broken nose, so kind of fucked up. But okay, well, you saw that one. I didn't watch it. Did you watch Hook against Angelo Parker?
Yeah, that was pretty. It was pretty good.
Quick
It's
match.
gonna be a big star one day. Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of a squash.
Okay. Pac and Kip Sabian. Now, I heard a lot of stuff saying this really wasn't that great of a match, and it should have been way better.
I mean, it was okay. I mean, Kip Sabian doesn't do much for me overall.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan.
Well, you would figure if he was coming back, he would put us all into it, but, you know.
I mean, I'm sure he did. I mean, I didn't say there was a lack of effort. He had a little bit different of a look, but you know, just nothing stood out about it.
Ishii versus Eddie Kingston, which was a total Japanese-style match where they just fucked each other up.
Great.
Supposedly, they were on the anniversary of Kobashi versus... Who else? Kobashi versus... No. It's not Tenryu. It was Kobashi versus a New Japan guy from the early 2000s.
Oh.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I went.
Yeah,
It was probably my favorite match.
Sakai, maybe? No, I don't know. Yeah, that match was awesome, and they just kept fucking each other up the whole match, dude. I don't know what else to say. Good timing. Ishii, right? It's an Ishii match. Everyone pops out of finishers or near falls, you know, at the end.
And Eddie gets a big win.
It's a big win, which so they're 1 for 1.
1-1. Yeah, they'll have the rubber match. Maybe they'll have it at Wrestle Kingdom. We'll see.
Yeah, that would be fucking awesome, dude.
Or I would love to see Eddie in the G1. I mean,
I don't know if he could do that physically, bro.
Just for the story of it, and
Yeah.
you want a guy there that would appreciate the spot. Like, that would be just such a feel good story. Like, get him on commentary a couple nights with Kevin Kelly, and I mean, that could be so much fun. And you know, just I would be happy for the dude. You know.
Yeah, I would be happy for him too. If he was able to do that, I would love seeing that. So after that, we had well, this is a weird one. We had Dante Martin, Rush Andrade, Rey Fenix, Penta, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio, right? And they were all defeated by, what would you say, in the ladder match? Who beat them? Was it Stokely Hathaway?
Yeah, well, technically, yeah. But if he wasn't an announced participant, he's just as good as the thing falling down and something picking it up, I guess. Well, these matches are, you know, no disqualification by default, right?
Yeah, I feel like when we start getting this stupid, though, it's like, whatever. It was for MJF, right? So I kind of get it.
My first thing when I, you know, heard this Joker coming out was, man, how much did they pay for the Rolling Stones song? Have they used that before for this spot?
No, but he's mentioned it on Twitter a lot over the years.
Who has?
MJF.
Using that song?
Listening to that song while working out.
Well, that should be his song from now on.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
it's perfect.
he also, yeah, they mentioned it in one of his promos too. He brought the song up like a year ago. So, for the hardcore freaks, you know, they found that out.
Yeah, he doesn't have to use that, like, kind of...
I like the old song,
you know,
though, dude.
Yeah, I've heard it somewhere, though. It's some kind of royalty-free music.
Oh,
I
boy.
think.
That's not
Like
great.
Like, you hear it on, like, a commercial for the local mall or something
I
like
sure
that.
hope not, dude. So,
No, I think I've heard it somewhere. Anyway,
yeah, I think it's heavily sampled, I'm going to say.
Well, anyway, he comes out there. He's got that just...
Mystery guy.
You know, the mystery guy at the time, the Joker.
But he did the
came out
exact
there.
same ring entrances or entrance moves as he always does.
They were probably slightly exaggerated.
But like
right?
you could have just done something
when this
totally
Joker
different.
But when this Joker came out, like, this is how good MJF is. You knew in just this all black outfit, not knowing who it was with that mask on. You're like, the way the guy carried himself, this guy is a star.
Yeah.
The confidence, you can see it through the costume and all that stuff. So you can see that's how good MJF is.
True. Being able to play in a mask
looks so important, like
in
that.
a mask and just look so charismatic. I agree. That was awesome.
It was great. So I knew that and then I'm like, it's got to be MJF, or people are saying Bray Wyatt. I'm like, no, Bray Wyatt would have to lose 70 pounds to start working out hardcore to look like that. But
yeah.
And the reveal at the end was good, even though I might have saved it for a little bit, especially what we found about CM Punk.
I know.
I don't know. That's where maybe it wasn't planned, because he had the heel come out to and then he goes nuts at this press.
I don't think he said that bad of
dude,
stuff about MJF. He just called him a prick. Honestly, that was not that bad for what he said about other people. I think calling someone a prick is probably a positive for CM Punk.
I was just gonna say I think CM Punk loves MJF.
Yeah,
that's just
yeah. I didn't sense any heat between them.
I think everyone loves MJF, and if you want to talk about works, I think that whole thing was a work for sure. Now,
I don't know if it was
extension.
a work. I think MJF played it out.
I think the contract thing might have been a little bit of a truth to it, but I totally think after that match,
no, they
take some time off
they actually all the reporters said literally right after that happened, they're like, actually MJF will be back. I remember they reported it immediately. Yeah. They're like, nope, they got it figured out. So that happened months and months ago. I guess.
And all the things I've heard about MJF is that the dude's a real professional backstage.
Yeah. Well, they probably offered him
in terms of everything.
Fucking what's it called? 3 months off, right? He was probably take 3 months off, keep getting paid, just chill.
Because we were saying then, I mean, he's the hottest thing they have, and he needs to be out in the middle of it, and
he should be at the top. Yeah, the top level. He should probably beat CM Punk. Honestly, he should be the probably time.
I think we said it. We probably said on our shows too. If they need to get the title on him by the end of the year. CM Punk's had a couple good runs with it.
Yeah, you can give CM Punk a few challenges, a few more challenges. I don't know if I want to see another I need to whip you to get a, for you to fight me thing. But a little more serious.
We'll see what they do with the MJF.
Well, he's got a whole new group too.
MJF.
So we got Stokely.
He's got the Ass Boys.
Stokely, the Ass Boys, Morrissey, and I think there's one more.
Maybe Enzo will show up on Wednesday.
We'll see about that. But
I will say this though, Big Cass man got himself in some good shape.
I think he got off the bad shit too.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, love seeing that. Man. Did you watch Kenny and the Young Bucks beat the Dark Order?
That was awesome.
Yeah, it was an amazing match. Everyone worked perfectly together.
Dude's a great wrestler.
Hell yeah, man. Small dude, ripped. He can do all these big spots. Great cardio, He reminds me of a little Dragon Gate guy who just can fucking go.
No, he's got a little Dean Malenko in him too, in terms of the size and the stature and all that.
He's got good knees, good suplexes, just good lariats.
Strong as hell. No, very impressed by him in the match. And they were, it was a really, really great match. I don't think anyone does near falls as good as the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it was awesome. And the finish with Adam Page missing, and hitting John Silver.
The buckshot.
Into the pin. Awesome finish. Great match. I don't think we're surprised by the results, but great stories in there. And Kenny Omega yelled at Hangman, "You'll never, ever, ever beat me again, ever, ever." So,
just a really great way, because I have a feeling Kenny's not really maybe ready to go out there and have 35-minute singles matches right now. So having this program to get him going and get him back in the ring shape so he can go on another singles run. You can see why they held on to that trios title a little bit longer, just so they could give it to him to get him going.
Yeah, although I'll say these dudes are wrestling at some crazy speeds in these trios. You're right. It's not a full 35-minute match, but Jesus, Nick Jackson, like the shit he does, God, that would like destroy anybody else. The flips and then jumping back into the rim and doing a flip and then wild shit.
Yeah, they're unbelievable.
So, did you watch She-Hulk versus Athena?
Yeah. Man, I know that women's division. I didn't see the other women's match. That's one I missed. But Jade Cargill, man, I mean, head and shoulders above everyone, in my opinion, there right now. Really kind of reminds me of when Charlotte first came up and how hot she was and how much more ready she looked. And that was at a time where Sasha and Bayley were really, really, really great and really good, but for some reason Charlotte just seemed to be a little above them, right? Like, we're talking that 15, 16, 17 era, where Sasha and Bayley were great, but just, Charlotte had that overall, like, just kind of presence, and she just seemed head and shoulders above. That's what Cargill kind of reminds me of, is Charlotte from like 15, 16.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if she has quite the charisma as Charlotte did back then. She's very athletic for sure. They only went 4 minutes.
That look, though.
Great, amazing look.
She's what is she,
amazing
6 feet?
Look. And obviously they couldn't say the word She-Hulk, so he said she's wearing green because she loves money, which was kind of an awkward thing to say. From
that's kind of funny. Can you trace it back? So I don't think they're under the Warner.
No, they're under Warner. They're not under Disney
or Universal. That's true.
Yeah.
Right.
So
okay.
All right. I missed
Well, anyway,
this match. How about Wardlow and FTR versus Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns? Did you watch that one?
Yeah, it was okay. It was definitely a bit of a filler. You had the 8-year-old girl moment, which was fun.
Was that the best part of the match? Probably. Yeah.
Probably. I gotta say, I was trying to keep my 8-year-old entertained a little bit and saying, "Well, we'll go after this match," and, trying to keep him going. But it was okay.
Sounds
it was
like
fine. I mean,
sounds
FTR
like a little bit one of the
bigger spots than this.
lacking matches in just like what it could have been on paper. So.
Well, I mean, FTR is definitely on the back burner right now.
Yeah. Well, they.
So we'll see, and I think guys like Jay Lethal deserve a run at something.
Yeah, me too.
They
Me
just
too.
haven't. Maybe he'll get that TNT title off of Wardlow at some
Shit,
point.
I'd love to
would
see
be
him
my
in a AEW title feud, but who knows if that'll ever happen.
Oh, me too. Yeah, I think if he's going to be the title holder, I think as a babyface would be his best bet.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that does equally good.
Yeah. He can do
babyface and heel.
Yeah, I would really love to see more smaller programs with like your main eventers like Jay Lethal or Roosh, So we'll see. But yeah, they got put in this 6-man, and it is what it is. Did you watch Ricky Starks versus Hobbs? And is Ricky Starks leaving the company or what?
That's when we got up and left and went home, and I totally missed. I just saw Ricky Starks come to the ring. What happened?
He got destroyed in 5 minutes and then spine-bustered and pinned. It was a squash.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
well, AEW's been doing a lot of squashes lately, huh?
I know, but Ricky Starks, bro, he is so good. Why?
Yeah, he's really good.
So I heard someone saying he could
know.
be leaving, which would suck.
Hey, I could see, Triple H's WWE having a spot for him, or he would probably work out really well in NXT.
And who knows what's going to happen with Aleister Black, Malachi Black.
Supposedly that's all, been figured out.
But did you see what he did last night?
He requested his release. Oh, last night? No.
Oh, he got pinned in the match, and then after he got pinned at the entrance, he kissed everyone and bowed and like stared around at the crowd.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I could see Triple H wanting to get him back too, and plus that's where his wife
Yes,
is, right?
that's where his wife is, and also, I like I heard that like he had an amazing relationship with Triple H. So, you know,
well,
you want people to be
let him
happy.
Go back there. No, listen. When this whole Triple H thing went down, you knew some guys were going to come back. You saw it with Johnny Gargano.
Braun Strowman.
You know, you saw it with Braun. Yeah, I guess I saw that too.
I don't think he came back. I
that
think they just Triple H knows he's a star. You know, he was a star in WWE, and
No. He was definitely somebody that the fans got behind.
yeah. So
but you knew he was going to get some of his work rate guys back, like
Gargano, he kept Ciampa all along. They did.
He kept chomping on, and I think Ricky Starks does fit well in the WWE style.
Did you know they gave Tommaso Ciampa
So-
his name back?
They've been giving everyone their
Yeah.
name back. There was someone else too that got their name back.
Austin Theory,
Austin Theory. I
Austin
think.
Theory, Matt
Yeah.
Riddle, and now Tommaso Ciampa. Congratulations
Yeah, they've been giving
to
out
getting
names.
your name back.
Yeah, so that I guess that's been good for most of them. But I could totally see an Aleister Black coming back there.
Yeah.
I could see Ricky Starks fitting.
I could
well.
see Andrade going back there in the long term. I mean, there's a lot of people that have that relationship. Samoa Joe, who did a lot in WWE, you know? So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they can still, offer you a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
That AEW really can't yet. There's quite a log jam with AEW right now. I think a lot of guys that signed there that thought they were going to be main eventers, maybe that's not working out.
Well, you do got your main guys. You got your Moxleys, your Bryans, your fucking Jerichos. Those dudes are pretty much made in AEW, you know.
And Punk. Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of guys, when they signed there, they didn't think that CM Punk's coming, Bryan Danielson's coming.
Yeah, everyone. Red Dragon.
So I think a lot of. Yeah, well, I mean, Bobby Fish was released. I heard recently.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of guys that went to AEW weren't expecting the defections to come. I mean, not defections necessarily, but they weren't expecting them to land. Two huge superstars. Within 6 months of each other, if not weeks.
Yes,
right?
well, but that's why I think guys
know?
like the Acclaimed impress me because they've managed to break through. You know what I mean? Now that's partially booking on Tony
Very
Khan.
impressive, yeah.
Choosing to switch them up with Billy Gunn and stuff. But we talked about the Swerve versus the Acclaimed. We already talked about that. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Awesome crowd reaction. So, would you have called the audible and had the Acclaimed win?
Like in the middle of the match? See, I didn't see.
Oh,
the
you
match,
didn't
so
see
I
that
don't know
one.
how the
Okay,
pacing
okay.
was. No. I think. Well, I did catch on with Jungle Boy and.
Okay. Okay. So
Christian Cage.
great match, and then the 4 women's match was awesome too, man. Actually, the weird thing was Jamie Hayter was the most over out of everyone. It's not that weird, but she got huge chants. Everyone was chanting her name.
Chicago's different, man.
So Jamie Hayter, extremely popular. Sheeta, very popular. Tony Storm beat everyone, and it was a good match. The crowd wasn't too loud for it, but dude, it was pretty crazy. Like they worked super hard. You had like pin after pin after pin after. It was like super fast paced. You know what I mean? Kind of like your high speed Stardom match. So very good.
Yeah, they do a good job with the multi-man matches usually at AEW. They really make everyone work during those. And, this one was a good match.
And then Christian's injured, and so he beat Luchasaurus beat Jungle Boy, and then he pinned him. Stupid.
Yeah, well, you had Luchasaurus come out and choke slam him a few times. Before
Dude,
the
I
match
told
started.
you on a previous
And-
podcast that as long as he's wearing black, he's still evil.
Yeah, you're
Told
right.
you.
Yeah, someone said he was flip flopping. I'm like, no, I just think he was always.
He
evil.
was. He was just playing.
just was
He was
undercover
playing
for a
that little
while.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And
Yeah.
really, they had to show the mom and
And I
the
think that's-
sister. That was fucked up.
They've been milking that. They milked that the last time too, and yeah, Christian's a heel. I mean, come on, this guy's he made a career off of doing it. His whole career, he's always been better as a heel.
Well, you know,
and yeah,
and his dad's an actor and stuff. I bet you they just tell the mom and the sister, "All right, this dude's injured, so he's gonna destroy him. So cry after the match." And they're like, "Okay."
and he'll get that win back. He'll get that win back.
Yeah. Well, I've heard. I did hear the Christian injury was fairly serious, which kind of is not something cool to hear. So, if they have to do him
An injury he had during the match.
whenever he got injured, it could have been lifting weights or whatever. But that's why it was such a short match, is because he was injured. So,
Wow.
yeah. We'll see, man. If he has to manage Luchasaurus and that's the next program, I don't know. Chris Jericho versus Bryan Danielson. Now, when I first saw this match, I thought it was okay, pretty good. Then I come to find out they actually called the whole match in the ring.
It was a really good match. It was just kind of, I really think Jericho wanted to do a technical Bryan Danielson style match, and yeah, I thought it was really good. I think Jericho's a guy who's that likes to probably wing things every once in a while. But no, I enjoyed it.
Obviously, Jericho is no Zack Sabre Jr., but he did his best doing a lot of older technical stuff. And again, they called it in the ring, so they kind of improv'd for most of the match, it sounds like. And when you think about that, you know, it was pretty impressive because, you know, there's just two guys calling it as they go, doing all the technical stuff. And then you had the, the ramp up at the end. Good pacing, I thought. They gave him a lot of time, too. I liked it.
Yeah, me too. That was really great. Jericho, 52 years old. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, very
Unbelievable.
impressive. Darby Allin, Sting, and Miro against the House of Black. I didn't actually watch this one, did you?
I was kind of in and out of it. It was definitely like a palate cleanser.
Makes sense.
There's another guy, Darby Allin, that had a lot of momentum for a while, and he just has to be put on the back burner. There's just not enough spots at the top.
I know.
mean, arguably, this guy has been at least their top 2-3 baby faces at some point in time, right? So there's just only so much
Wait,
room.
who's the TNT
at the
champion?
top. Wardlow.
Oh, okay. It's like they couldn't. I'm just so like, why wasn't there a TNT match? I guess they just didn't do that.
Yeah, seems like he'd want that on the main card. Oh, also don't forget, with Pac, Orange Cassidy came out as being the next challenger for that North Atlantic.
Yeah,
whatever.
that was a weird promo too. I was kind of
Oh.
weirded out by that one. I guess you had
So,
the
yeah, that's
Penta
right,
talking shit, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, and then just Orange Cassidy goes silent. And you're like, okay then. All right, so in 19 minutes and 55 seconds, CM Punk beat Jon Moxley. I thought it was a really good match. Without knowing all the bullshit. What do you think?
No, I mean, I thought it was a great match. It's just funny that CM Punk is a really, really good wrestler. He's borderline great in ring, but he's definitely a guy that is not very athletic.
Yeah.
I know that's a weird thing
No,
to say.
it's true, dude. He runs out of breath easily. He can't do crazy flips and stuff like that. He's more of an actor.
Well, yeah, in a way, like, I think he's learned to do things fundamentally well, but he doesn't have, like, an athletic background. Like, maybe he didn't play basketball or baseball when he was a little kid, or soccer or whatever. So he doesn't have, like, that
Well, it's
kind
probably a genetic. It's
athletic,
probably a genetic thing too.
He doesn't. Someone that doesn't have that athletic like kind of like basis or template for doing everything. But in a way, Moxley doesn't either. Moxley is kind of an awkward wrestler as well, so that's why I think they blended so well.
That's true. They're both kind of
sim-
at this point bruisers, right? Brawlers. Like you're not gonna.
Yeah, well, Moxley's always been a brawler, and Punk's always been like technical / brawler.
But they
right?
both kind of just did a
And
brawling
it mixed
match.
up well.
They did the dives. Both of them did.
And I'm glad Moxley didn't bleed this time.
Which was kind of funny. Like they're like, he probably knows the meme now. He's like, all right, you bleed instead.
Yeah, and I thought that worked out well.
Let's
really great
be honest
match,
though,
man.
he had blood all over him.
Yeah, it wasn't his, but he did for sure.
Fucking licking
Not
it.
this time.
All this weird shit. So
It reminds me of the when I went to Heatwave 2000 ECW when Steve Corino was a Crimson Mask and Jerry Lynn took the blood with his fingers and spelt
What?
"die" on his chest. Yeah, like it had to be a spontaneous thing. I was at that too, and I didn't realize what he was doing until I watched
was it in LA?
later on. But yeah, it was in the Grand Olympic Auditorium in 2000.
Damn, I didn't know ECW toured to LA like that.
That was their only like big show they did.
Wow.
Was in 2000, like a year before the company went under. That was where they had the whole XPW like kind of yeah,
Was it
crazy,
a good
crazy
show?
pay-per-view. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's on the network.
I'm searching it
Peacock.
now.
Check it
Heatwave.
out. Heatwave 2000.
Yeah, it's like can't find
Heatwave 2000.
ECW Heatwave. Okay, here we go. 5 seasons. Don't forget that. Heatwave 2000. Just Incredible faces Tommy Dreamer in a Stairway to Hell match.
That's right.
How old were you?
19?
Okay, so you could go on your
18,
own accord.
19? Yeah, I went with my buddies.
Huh.
Oh, I just had turned 19 because it was July 16th. So it was a month ago I turned 19.
Any shows coming up that you plan on going to?
Not really.
Nothing, huh?
Haven't
How
seen
about
anything.
Fighting
Yeah.
Spirit Unleashed in 4 days?
Oh, yeah. Is that in LA? I thought they were doing October. They're doing another New Japan.
Fighting
Strong.
Spirit Unleashed is in Hollywood, California on September 10th. But that's pretty soon, though.
September 10th? I thought they were doing October. Oh, well, I don't
They're
know.
going to do, let's see.
September 10th is Saturday.
It's going to be, I don't know about this one, though, honestly.
I know they're in Vegas on the 11th, right?
On the 11th? Yep. Yeah, they're doing the 10th, but honestly, it's no big stars or anything, dude. The main event is Aussie Open versus Jarrell Nelson and Royce Isaacs.
West Coast Wrecking Crew. Where are
The
they
Vermont?
holding this? On September
Yeah,
10th?
Saturday. This Saturday.
Interesting.
Yeah. But then we got Royal Quest coming up after that. 2 nights. That's going to be incredible.
Oh, yeah, that will be.
I'm so excited for that. And what is this? Declaration of Power? Is this just a new random pay-per-view?
I think it's the 50th anniversary, so they've been using some of the names of their old pay-per-views. So I think that.
Okay, and that's where it's going to be Jonah
like the
versus
90s or
Okada.
something.
Okay.
Right.
Wow, they got that all planned out. That's nice, right?
Yeah,
Man,
probably.
it feels nice not to have to talk so much about CM Punk and all that shit. It's too much, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you just got to let it play out, and you get the basics of it, and that's really all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, and you go on to r/Squared Circle, one of the top posts with almost 2,000 votes upvote says, "I just feel bad for Colt Cabana."
Can't help it. I mean, I don't know how you don't after hearing all that stuff. Because the guy's been pretty much absent, and he's not there to defend himself, and nor is he on Twitter or anything defending himself. Because I just, I would hate to be in a verbal spat with CM Punk, whether you're right or wrong.
Did you hear some of the other?
It's not the person you want to be on the wrong side.
Did you see
of.
some of the other tweets from other wrestlers, kind of sideways commenting?
No.
Matt Hardy says, "I've lived a hell of a life, I've accomplished incredible things, and I've fucked up a lot. I can confidently say I've learned from both the good and the bad. I don't believe in tearing people down. I only believe in building people up."
I did see some other stuff. What did I see? Oh, yeah, I saw, for example, Grado text a picture of him and Colt Cabana together. Subtle stuff like that.
Yeah. I liked the
Around that time.
not Christopher Daniels. What's his partner's name? Frankie Kazarian. Frankie Kazarian. Yeah.
I just keep my mouth shut.
He's like, yeah, that's something I've learned. I'm like, thank you.
The best weapon is to keep your mouth shut. Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean,
yeah. It's pretty interesting what's going on.
Well,
we will see. Yeah. Just more complaints on here. It should have been Bryan Danielson, not CM Punk, By the way, did you hear about Velveteen Dream? So can we finally talk about this fucking asshole?
I'll be taking pictures of other dudes, setting up a penis cam at parties, something like that.
All right, here's my thing. Right? I figured back in the day, besides all his fucking weird shit on Snapchat, I thought I think he's had a drug issue because he was having car accidents or something. And yeah, really? that's when he was taking time off. He got in a car accident, and eventually it's I don't know. One thing after another, WWE said, or Meltzer said that WWE would never hire him again. Especially, he got arrested twice. Jesus Christ, man. I hope he gets better.
Well, Jimmy Uso gets arrested every couple weeks, or Jay, one of them.
True.
But, this guy, I just had a lot of issues, it sounds like.
There's a Wrestling Observer newsletter headline from June 16th, 1997 that I'd like to read to you, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's my, it was my 16th birthday.
Wrestling Observer newsletter. Dressing room fights in both WWF and WCW. HBK threatens to quit and tons more. And the
yeah, this is not old stuff. This is not. This is not a new thing to the business.
Yeah. Oh. I kind of want to read that one. HBK threatens to quit. Dressing room fight in WCW and WWF. It's Jesus, dude. I guess it was a little more common back then, right?
Yeah, I think it's a little more surprising now because of the whole everyone gets along. We just go back to our room and play video games era.
That's probably true, man. That's probably true. Well, I'll tell you what, man. We only did...
Because you remember, it was guys like The Undertaker and maybe even Kevin Nash or whatever saying, no, these guys are, fighting for what they believe in and all that kind of thing. They're just happy, being where they're at. They're happy to be there kind of thing. But I guess you can't say that about now.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy, man. Well, what I was going to say is that we only did 1 hour, but I think we covered things pretty in detail. And, we could spend another hour talking about the Punk stuff, but I really just don't want to. That's what everyone's talking about.
And something will happen by next week. We'll have a lot.
Yeah, and I'd rather talk about some other good shows, there's a lot of Japanese stuff coming up. So maybe next time.
Did we address the crowd?
Yeah.
Cheering?
You said it was awesome.
Okay. I mean, I know we did before the show, but it was on.
No, that was my first
favorite moment of the
question.
weekend.
And so, yeah, that's what I like hearing about, more positive stuff like that.
And hearing the fans say, cheering for Bad Dude Tito, that was really
Yeah,
cool.
I'm about to go check that out, like right now. So,
And I'll expect the text to wake me up in the wake me up in the morning, telling me how much you loved it, because that was my moment of the weekend.
now there was a
Anyone
cage
says.
match. There
Hearing the
was a
noise in
cage
Japan.
match between The Miz and Bobby Lashley that I kind of wanted to watch too. So,
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna catch up on a little Castle Attack. whatever they call it.
Castle Attack.
Definitely-
That's such a New Japan name
What
for
was it
It's
called?
Clash at the Castle. But
Okay.
no, that one was that one.
Castle
The
Attack.
even the
Castle Attack was the one they.
That's
did
what
at
I'm saying.
Fox.
That's a New Japan name for sure.
White Castle, whatever.
Yeah,
it's
they even had the what match am I thinking? Oh yeah, Riddle versus Seth Rollins. That was great.
called. Oh yeah,
Because
Okay,
Riddle,
okay.
they're letting him do shit they couldn't do before. Riddle lost his cool and went ultra violent on Rollins, but then he started fucking up. Yeah,
good.
so he was doing the full slaps and fucking all the Japanese style stuff. So I'm telling you, bro, it's definitely changed. So check.
I might have to carve out some more time at some point.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for checking us out. Again, we'll have more to talk about next time, probably. I kind of hope it's a slow week, but it's not going to be. We've got lots of other stuff coming up. Lots of shows in Japan. We got Stardom that I want to watch. And, thank you guys for checking us out. Check us out at Wrestling and Pod on Twitter or Instagram. And at In Ring Art on Twitter or TikTok. Yeah. Anything else to say, Justin?
Instagram. I mean, that's really it, man. I think we covered it all, and we'll see you guys.
Stay positive, people. Have a good one. Peace.